Alright, this is boys, so welcome to the video chat. Today we're going to react to this one. Andrew Tate explains his lung cancer. New interview. It's 5 minutes and 27 long. Let's see the video. Let's go.
So guys, on a recent interview with Patrick David and Andrew Tate, Andrew goes on to talk about his health condition that we know he had in jail. There was rumours going around that he had cancer. If you want to join the room, we have a link in the description. We've also linked Patrick David's interview down below.
What about these stories that came out that you've got cancer and lung cancer and then you were poisoned and these matrix attacks?
Yeah, so the
Are you planting these stories?
No.
Are they making these things up?
No, so the cancer thing is interesting because by Romanian law, every 30 days to extend the arrest, there has to be new information. They can't extend the arrest based on the previous information. So they put together all this garbage case and arrested me for 30 days. To keep me another 30 days, they have to find something during that 30-day arrest period to keep me for the second month. But of course, there's nothing to find. So when I was having medical scans in Dubai, a scar, a dark spot was identified on my lung. And I had follow-up tests booked for February. So after the first 30 days, I called up my PA and she said, "Are you coming to Dubai?" I said, "Well, yeah, if they let me go at the end of these 30 days, I'll come to Dubai for my medical tests." They took that conversation and shown it and used it in court, saying I'm trying to flee the country and trying to escape the judicial system as motivation for the second month's arrest. And the judge agreed and locked me in jail because I said I would go to a medical appointment if I was free. And they used that as proof I'm trying to run because they had nothing else. And the judge agreed for some reason and kept me in jail. Then everything in Romania leaks. So it leaked that I had this medical thing in Dubai, I had a problem with my lungs. And then there's a hospital here. And I decided to go to the hospital here and have it looked at because although I was not concerned, I thought, you know what? Although it's difficult to do procedures in jail, I have time for once in my life. So I decided to go to the hospital here in Romania, and Romania does have some private healthcare, which is actually very high quality. It's not as poor as people think it is. And I went to a private hospital, and I knew it wasn't cancer. I knew it wasn't. I sat down with the doctor and said, "We're really concerned about this dark spot in your lung." I said, "It's not cancer." He said, "How do you know?" I said, "That's just not my life path. It's not my story."
You told him that?
Yeah. The doctor's like, "Okay, but we have to investigate." I said, "We can investigate, but it's just not my story. It's not cancer. I have 0%. So I went to the doctors here. In Romania, everything leaks. It leaked out to the press. I had this mark on my lungs. I was supposed to go to Dubai. They denied me going to Dubai. They said that's enough reason to hold me and keep me in jail, which is absolutely insane. All because I had a phone call about a medical procedure. It's crazy. But they were always going to keep me anyway and find some reason. I went there. I had a bronchioscopy. Have you ever had one of them? Bro. I wouldn't call it painful, but it's certainly horrible. So they put a camera in your lung. So it's not it's down your throat, but it's in your lung. It's not down your throat, it's into the airway. So you're trying to vomit and you're trying to cough and you can barely do either, and they're moving this camera around inside. It's extremely unpleasant. It
sucks. I had it 3 years ago in Dallas for the whole allergy thing. Did
you have a bronchioscopy?
Yeah, they had to knock you out. It's terrible.
Yeah.
You've had the same procedure.
Absolutely.
Were you awake or asleep?
No, they gave me anesthesia, so I was asleep.
Oh, bro, here.
What were you?
I was awake, wide awake.
Yeah.
Oh, I was wide awake.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. They gave me this, they tried to numb your throat a bit, and then they gave it to me. And the doctors all around me. It's kind of interesting because when something is in your mouth and you're choking, you want to grab it, right? So you're on a chair and you're like tied to the chair, so you can't move your hands. So you're like tied to the chair and you're like this, and they put this thing down your throat, this camera, and you're trying to vomit and you're trying to cough, but they can't move the camera when you're coughing. So even the armed guard who took me, the police officer, the guy, he was in the corner of the room, and even he was, I could see on his face, he was like, "Fucking hell." And I don't even want to reenact it because it's probably so horrible to look at, but you're just like you're trying to vomit, you're trying to cough, your face is bright red, you can't breathe, and they're like, "Stop coughing, stop coughing, stop coughing," and you have to try and stop coughing for like 2 seconds so they can adjust the camera a bit. It's the worst 20 minutes of my life. It was horrible. They finish that and they go, "Okay, well the good news is there's precisely 0 smoking damage on your lungs, and your lungs are perfect, but the lesion, whatever it is on the outside of your lungs. It's not on the inside of your lungs. You couldn't see anything." So I completed that procedure, went back to jail. That was a nice evening.
Nice.
Horrible. Anyone who has a bronchioscopy, yeah, go to sleep. Don't stay awake. Horrible. Then they said we have to find it. We have to get a biopsy from the outside of your lungs. So we have to put a needle through your back, a needle like this long, through your back, through your rib cage, to your lung, a CT guided biopsy it's called, and take a piece of it and then pull the needle back out and then do a biopsy on the piece. Now, they're like, "This is an operation. Do you want to have it while you're in jail?" Because the bronchioscopy wasn't much to recover from. I had
Yo, what's going on, bro? I'm hearing so much information, bro, that I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Throat, whatever. but this is an operation. Do you want to have it while you're in jail? And I was like, well, why not? I'm in jail. I have time. I can't recover, but I have time. So I went for my CT guided biopsy. They put you on your front. They show you the needle. It's like this long. And then they stick it in you, and then they scan you with the biopsy, and they try and see where the mark is, and they adjust the needle, and they scan it. It's like 30 minutes of them shoving this needle in you, trying to get to the right point. And eventually, they did the biopsy, and they said, yeah, it's benign. Some lesion I might have had from when I had pneumonia when I was a kid or something. It's benign. And as I told you, I knew that cancer wasn't my life path. I knew it wasn't. But obviously, rumors spread like wildfire.
Wildfire. Everybody in the States.
Especially because I smoke. Especially because I smoke all the time.
Right.
But it was actually very refreshing to hear. I have zero smoking damage in my life.
Yeah, I mean, that's sick. That's crazy. But yeah, it is what it is, boys. Thank you all so much for watching. 100% gonna review. And yeah, man, great video. Great to see.